What's up everyone, and welcome back to Video Game Book Club. I'm Clay, and I have a few simple questions for you. Do you love video games? I'm going to assume you do, since you may happen to be here and you're watching this. Do I have a game for you? It's called Cuphead from developer StudioMDHR, and it's only available right now on the Xbox One and Windows. Let's take a look.
Yes, they came on Devil's Game, and gosh, they paid the price.
Cuphead began its development in 2010 with indie developers Chad and Jared Moldenhauer. The brothers developed the game using Unity from their respective homes in Canada. Cuphead is largely inspired by Fleischer and Walt Disney Animation Studios. Chad Moldenhauer is cited as saying that Fleischer Studios was the magnetic north of his art style. The game falls back heavily on the rubber hose animation style from the 1930s associated with both StudioMDHR's inspirational studios. In short, rubber hose animation's key defining characteristic is rubber hose-like limbs, typically arms and sometimes legs, that are simple flowing curves with no bends, such as elbows, wrists, or knees. Our story takes place on Inkwell Isle, which draws even more inspiration from Fleischer Studios as they founded Inkwell Studios in 1921. Brothers Cuphead and Mugman lived with Elder Kettle on Inkwell Isle without a care in the world. One day, the two adventured too far and found themselves in front of the Devil's Casino, which they of course decided to enter, because why wouldn't you? Shooting craps seemed to be going pretty well for the brothers, even impressing the casino manager, King Dice, even though he only has one die for a head, but that's okay, King Dice. As the devil strolled up to the table, he tried convincing the boys to raise the stakes. One more roll and risk everything. If they win, the brothers get everything inside the casino. But should they lose, the devil would take their souls. Of course, Cuphead was ready to throw down one more time. He grabbed the dice and threw them across the table, only to land on Snake Eyes, losing the roll and their souls. Not wanting to actually have to give up their souls, the brothers try to come up with another way to repay the devil, which leads us to our game's main focus. We have to help the brothers track down and defeat the devil's list of runaway debtors in order for him to pardon us. Thankfully, you are dropped into Elder Kettle's home, where you get to run through the tutorial on how to play the game. If you are playing on an Xbox One, I would absolutely suggest changing the controls around slightly here, or else you may end up with some hand cramping and some crab hands from the awkward default layout. The story feels rather secondary when you compare it to the overall look. Cuphead is gorgeous, blending together 24 and 60 frames per second along with hand animation and incredible background detail. Just looking at the game is a joy. Setting down to play it, in some cases, is not. This isn't me saying the actual gameplay sucks. Actually, that's the complete opposite. It's just hard and it's frustrating. Don't get me wrong, the game is a joy to play, though sometimes, man, you just want to break stuff. Cuphead follows our titular hero, or heroes depending on how you play, through 3 sections of Inkwell Isle. Before being able to progress from isle to isle, you must defeat each boss and capture their soul. At first playthrough, you have an easy and regular mode available to you. Completing the boss fight on easy will get you a score and nothing more. You need to defeat the boss on regular difficulty in order to take the soul. A nice addition to Cuphead is how it shows your progression through the boss fight when you die, because you're gonna die. Most bosses have numerous forms, and knowing how close you were to winning can be a good thing, or it can also be a very frustrating thing when you were right there at the very end and you die, because you will. You may be wondering what the purpose of these run and gun levels are, since we need to defeat the bosses in order to get the souls. Well, we need the run and gun levels to collect coins to spend at Porkrind's Emporium for upgrades. I guess technically you don't need to do it, but some of the upgrades do actually help. Different weapons, abilities, and heart upgrades are all available to purchase. Each one will bring with it something unique, and reading each boss fight to figure out what you need will be an additional layer to the fight, making this game that much better and strategic. Heart upgrades, however wonderful they sound, decrease your overall attack power. Once you have collected enough souls for King Dice to let you through all the aisles and defeated the Phantom Express, you get to make your way to Inkwell Hell to confront the big boss men themselves, King Dice and the Devil. King Dice is somewhat excited to see that you actually managed to pull it off, although he's seriously upset you've caused him to lose a bet. That leads him to make you gamble for your life again before you get to see the Devil. In All Bets Are Off, you play on what appears to be a craps table, parrying a die in the middle in order to move toward fighting the Devil. If you study the die and parry at just the right moment, you can move through this portion fairly easily. Just know that if you get to the end and overshoot the Finn space, you have to start all over again. Once you land on Finn, the battle with King Dice will begin. He's not particularly difficult, and parrying over his marching card army is fairly easy to do. If you use the tracker, you should have no issue putting King Dice to rest. After defeating King Dice, the door to the Devil will open up. You're greeted with a cutscene where he wants you to turn in the souls you've collected. Upon doing so, you have to join his team. So if you say yes, the Devil keeps you in hell with him, and you're given a creepy shot of possessed Cuphead and Mugman. Say no, and prepare to fight. The fight with the Devil is broken up into 4 sections. It can be incredibly frustrating. Just take your time and learn some of his patterns. You will be able to knock this guy out in no time. Once you finish the fight, Cuphead and Mugman become the heroes of the day, releasing the souls of the captives and making Inkwell Isle a great place to live once again. After defeating the Devil, you unlock Expert difficulty and the ability to earn an S rank on stages. Now the real challenge of achieving S rank on every boss battle can begin. But only if you're crazy. To sum everything up, Cuphead is a fantastic game. Incredible look and feel and an interesting story to go along with it make this game a must-buy if you own an Xbox One and are looking for games to play. If you've played through Cuphead, what were some of your favorite boss fights? For me, I actually really enjoyed fighting the Devil. And the dragon is, of course, a lot of fun as well. How about your least favorite levels? Mine were definitely any of the flying levels. They just drove me nuts. Absolutely nuts. Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching. Until next time, take care, everyone.